fucked, man. This is the wildest shit to me, dude.
Yeah.
This is the craziest fucking shit to me. Like, I've never... Like, I've had some weird stuff happen on podcasts, and I don't want it to be some confirmation bias saying that they're after me or not, but come on, man. What could you possibly assume from that? You know what I mean?
You think it's like some men who stare at goat shit, where it's like we just like kicked out the electrical socket by mistake, we didn't know it, or is it like on some real next level, like they're watching shit?
I think they're always watching. They're always watching us, 100%. But
I mean,
what is it that they always do to great people in history that have talked out against the narrative? They give them throat cancer.
Oh snap!
You know the guy from Halley's Comet?
No, what's that?
You know you've heard of Halley's Comet? Come on, bro.
No, I mean, like the comet.
Yeah. So the guy who came up with the Halley's Comet, who was the main guy. Let me look up his first name. It's something Haley, but that guy. Yeah. So Haley's. Let me look it up. It's like Sir something Haley's Comet.
Something Haley. I mean, it's like John Haley or some shit, right?
Yeah.
You always gotta name shit after yourself, yo.
Jeez.
You know what I mean? Dude, if you discovered some shit, that would be like, yo, Juan, the planet. You know what I mean? It'd be fly. Like, you wouldn't be like, yo, that's X4932. You'd be like, yo, your mama's a bitch. Like, the planet. You'd give it some wild-ass name.
It'd be like Juan, the Mexican planet, but I'm not Mexican, so...
I mean, whatever you need, baby.
All right, Edmund Haley. Here we go, Edmund Haley. So the crazy shit about this guy, right, and which a lot of people know about him. Everybody knows about Halley's Comet, and it's a comet that becomes visible from Earth every 75 to 76 years. And so this guy, bro, Edmund Haley, talked about hollow Earth. He came up with the idea of concave, not him, but he talked about concave Earth. And he said that Earth, it has an inner sun, and out of that sun, there's another world in there, like Agartha, hollow Earth theory, with Admiral Byrd and all that shit. But so we were having some technical difficulties right before this episode. My mic just wouldn't work. I fucking restarted everything, updated everything, reset everything, and it wouldn't work. So we're here on Zoom. The lizards are watching us here too, bro. Yeah. And here we are. Welcome back to the show, Chris. What the fuck is up, dude?
Thanks for having me. Nothing, man. We just technically were glitching the fuck out. And it's been a strange day. And just more par for the course. You know what I mean? So
dude, where have your studies? And before we get into it, let people know where they can find your work, dude. Check out the MENSA Podcast. I got my MENSA fucking merch on right now, bruh.
Yeah, so appreciate
it. Let people know where they can find the pod.
Yeah, MENSAPodcast.com. MENSA Podcast at Instagram and all that shit. And that's really it. I mean, it's pretty...
And the spice, too, bro. Let them know they can find the spice. I put that shit on everything.
Yeah,
I brush my teeth with it, bro.
Yeah, man. And it's like, that's the thing about it. It's like, I'm not really trying to be in the food industry, but if it's my mom's recipe and it's kind of like idiot proof, so like fuck it, you know what I mean?
If it works, don't fix it, right? Or how does it say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I don't have to reinvent the wheel here. So people dig it, and so we just keep making it, and that's all there is to it. We make 2 sauces as well. Hopefully you enjoyed those too. They're kind of spicy. One's spicy.
I haven't tried the spicy one, bro. You came out with that one after the fact, after I had gotten the first one, but I used the first one. It's like fucking, I use it like ketchup on everything. So
yeah, man. So yeah, MENSA Podcast and Process Spice. That's it. Really, that's my shit. So whatever.
Oh yeah, dude. So speaking of the wheel, some ancients regarded the wheel as evil.
What do you mean the wheel? Like
the wheel. So when the Spaniards would come in with their carts and their wheels and shit, they thought it was the apocalypse.
Did they think that was like the first thing, like the monkeys in 2001: A Space Odyssey, like the wheels, like the dun, dun, man?
Dude, it's funny you mentioned that because I was actually thinking about that movie today, about how great it is and about how Kubrick, he was just on another level as a human being, and how those movies, the movies that, right, I feel that these movies from back then, they weren't as filtered as they are today, as we move into this technocracy where these conglomerate tech companies rule everything. And I just rewatched The Matrix the other day, and I sent you that documentary to watch, the Glitch in the Matrix, which I hadn't seen. I hadn't seen that movie, and it's a documentary.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and it made me think. Today I was actually thinking about, before we hopped on the podcast, about the 2001 Space Odyssey. Have you seen the other movies too? I mean the other movie.
The Glitch in the Matrix one?
No, which is the other one? The one after 2001.
What's the follow up?
Yeah, I believe so. Don't quote me on that.
This is some Mandela Effect shit, dog.
Hold on. 2000. There's the 2001. So 2000. Hold on, let me see here. I'm pretty sure there's another one, dude. Pretty sure. So.
I've been glitching out my mind, basically.
Bro, don't fucking do this to me right now, bro.
This Mandela Effect shit, dog. It's getting weirder and weirder. I'm telling you.
No, hold on.
See what I mean? It's just shit's changing. It's getting weird.
There's no way that. All right, so let me look up all his movies. 2001 Space Odyssey, Clockwork Orange. I haven't seen that.
Clockwork Orange?
Yeah. Dude, there's no follow-up movies. Holy fuck, no way.
Yeah, dude. Clockwork Orange is mental, dude.
I thought there was a 2075 Space Odyssey.
I don't think so. Have you ever seen THX 1138?
No, what is that?
That's crazy, dude. That's the Star Wars guy, one of his first movies. I forget his name, but it's about this future society that's like living underground, but they don't really know where they're at, because it's like multiple generations into like people living underground. Yeah. And the last thing is this guy like escaping and like punching up through like like a hatch in the fucking ground opens, and he comes up through it to the Earth's surface. You know what I mean?
Bro, there's no other Space Odyssey. 2001. Oh, yeah, there is. Okay, 2010, The Year We Make Contact. Have you seen that one? So it's 2001 Space Odyssey, and then 2010, The Year We Make Contact.
Never even heard of that.
Yeah, and it's like a follow-up to it. So they go looking for the guy that went missing. So
Kubrick made it, though?
No, I don't think he did. So let's look this up. Produced. There we go. That's why. And yeah. It is a sequel to Stanley Kubrick's 1968 2001 Space Odyssey, and it was shot and directed by Peter Hyams. So this is an American film director. Yeah, so he's done a few movies, I think. Capricorn 1, I don't know, I've never even fucking heard of that. Anyways, I knew I wasn't fucking crazy, bro. Come on, man.
Never heard of it. Still never heard of it.
Anyways, watch that, bro. It's not as good as the first one, obviously, because always the firsts are the best.
Yeah.
Just how I think. What do you think about the new Matrix coming out? I've talked about this shit a bunch on the podcast.
There's a new Matrix coming out? I didn't even know that.
Yes, the Matrix 4 Resurrections.
Oh, that's correct. Oh, yeah, maybe I did hear about that. I don't know, man. Whatever. I think it's neat because they put like weird esoteric shit into these movies. Other than that, like I don't need to see CGI people fighting for like 2.5 I like old movies because there's like plot, and some like kind of swag to them. And like, nothing against watching people fight for 2.5 hours straight, but it just is a little boring to me. Oh man.
I can get behind that, but it's I forgot who said that quote. There's nothing new under the sun. There's only so many different ways you can tell the same story over and over again. You know what I mean?
I think Joe Biden said that.
So you go ahead
and
stack spaghetti sauce at the store.
Spaghetti sauce. Whew. What was the thing today? He did some shit today about the cornholio. What was that about? What was that?
Yo, your man can barely talk, which is so wild to me because I could barely talk and I could talk.
What do you mean, my man? You're part of the simulation too, bro. He's your man too. He's your man's too, bro.
It's your man's.
No. I listen, dude. So let's talk a little bit about let's touch the subject today. What we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about we watched that YouTube video from the guy all time, and he talks about how the internet is dead and the internet decay and all that stuff. And dude, when I see things like that, bro, and the one thing that hit home for me was the Google searches. Did you listen to the second part of that video?
Well, what's weird is I've looked up certain things and I've had this experience firsthand. So when I've had somebody else be like, look at it. And I'm like, holy shit, I thought I was the only one. Like, I thought I was looking up maybe something obscure and there was no photo references of it online. Like, that happened. Like, I love watches. So, like, sometimes, like, I'm looking up specific watches and, like, not a lot of information on it. There's just not over time, you know? So, there's certain things like that where I can get behind. Like, okay, maybe, like, you know, you've hit a wall in some way. But other things, you're like, it'll say like 1 billion search results and there's like 54 photos. And you're like, how the fuck does this make sense? So I don't know. The idea is that the internet is like, there's internet rot. So it used to be all connected with hyperlinks to things, whatever. And now a lot of those links essentially don't work. And a lot of search results, again, say billions, but when you scroll down through Google, there's 478 results or whatever. So the point being is like, maybe Google, instead of being this like fucking altruistic, fucking saintly organization, maybe what they're doing is chopping all the fat and really like just, you know what I mean? Just honing it in. So now it's just LinkedIn, fucking Facebook, Google, whatever the fuck, Netflix.
They're boys. They're same people.
They're all the same.
Like Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. They're all the same people.
Yeah, so it's super interesting because, you know, like, dude, when we were like 20 or whatever and the internet was like really kind of like flourishing or whatever, like, dude, you'd go on and surf that motherfucker, dude. You'd learn all kinds of shit. You'd be like,
you have AOL, bro? The freaking little noise that I would make.
But you just always end up in these weird corners and you'd be like, yo, like, this is crazy. Project fucking Veritas or whatever. You know what I mean? Just shit. They were like Project Camelot and they were just like interviewing people talking about aliens for fucking 6 hours. You're like, this shit is crazy.
Wait, right? Project Camelot? I never heard of that.
Oh, dude, bitches are crazy straight up. But anyway, point being is I used to end up on these like weird rabbit holes more so than I do now. It seems like a lot of the information on YouTube especially and stuff has been kind of reeled in, right? And I think that's the basic premise of this internet is dead thing. I don't know if it's real or not, but it kind of feels real-ish. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts, I did that solo episode where I broke down the origins of the internet, right? The beginnings of it, and I talked about DARPA. And he mentions DARPA, and one of the things I didn't know about, which obviously Facebook was founded the same day that DARPA's LifeLog project was ended.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
That same day Facebook came. But
I mean, really say, you know.
I knew that, right? What I didn't know that blew my mind was that some of the employees went over to work for Facebook from DARPA.
Zuck's an alien, dog, for sure.
100%, bro. He's an android.
Has to be, dude.
He's an android.
He even looks like a goddamn robot.
Yeah, and you saw when he's like in front of the Senate, he's like, "Thank you, sir."
Oh, dude, he is 100% lizard. Dude, what is the fucking ratio that somebody rips his head off like The Simpsons? There's a lizard, like a 100%, right?
Have you seen Westworld?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
What is it? Do you see that door there? He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." Spoiler alert. My favorite one was when one of the main characters figures out that he is one of the androids. Oh, right.
I've seen that premise in a few things recently. It's really interesting, you know, like when the robots wake up or whatever the fuck, or they didn't know up to this certain point or whatever.
What do you think of so one of my favorite movies of all time is The Thing.
I see. I've never seen it.
What? You've never seen it, bro?
Maybe that's a mission. I gotta stay.
Like the first one, forget about it. They literally show the thing at the very end because it's like from the 1950s or something like that, and it's like super, you know, obviously like, you know, black and white, whatever. And they show the thing like at the very end. The second one, the one of the newer ones, excellent. The third one, excellent. So the whole premise behind that is they're in, I believe it's Antarctica, and they find something that's frozen, right? And it thaws out and it breaks out of the ice.
That's the fucking Tomorrow War movie. The same fucking premise.
It's pretty much COVID. Nobody knows who has it, so everybody's on edge. Like, who do you fucking have it? Do you have it? No. Somebody has it, so everybody's on edge about it. We're like, oh, okay, somebody here has it. We don't know who, but we can't let anybody escape. And this thing can mimic people. It morphs into people, and you don't know who has it or not. And then the people turn into these crazy creatures. Like after, like, you know, their head will pop off, and the head will start crawling with like these these freaking legs or like a spider over to people and like attack them, which is crazy. So check this out, bro. Maybe the whole global warming agenda of like how they don't want the ice to melt.
You're fucking crazy, dude.
What if in these ice caps there is some shit that they don't want to get out? That's why we can't go to the North Pole, right? We can't go to the South Pole. What do you think they're hiding, bro? What do you think is happening? Do you think that maybe there is some Cthulhu motherfucker like frozen in there that they know about? Maybe that's what Admiral Byrd talked about when he talked.
Wait. He told Admiral Byrd like this was part of his whole thing?
No. So Admiral Byrd's thing, the whole thing about Admiral Byrd was Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Agartha. He said, and according to the Nazis talked about an impenetrable fortress, and after World War II, depending on which records you want to believe, there was anywhere from 250,000 up to, I think it was like 50,000 up to 250,000 Nazis that went missing, that just disappeared off the face of the earth. So the theory is that they did find Hollow Earth and they went to Hollow Earth, and Admiral Byrd, Operation High Jump, they talk about fighting aliens and going and finding some entrance to Hollow Earth, and they were flying. Admiral Byrd was some guy that was a highly decorated general in the Army, in the Navy, in the Army, one of the two. Right. And this was like a no bullshit guy. And this guy, I've tried finding the interviews of when he talks about craft that can travel from the North and South Pole at very high rates of speed, and that the government and the people need to prepare for this. And I can't find those videos anymore. There's only one particular interview where he talks about the of going there, like, oh, we're trying to figure out what all this is. And bro, he talked about this shit, but we can't go there. We can't confirm this shit. And then on TikTok, you see like these influencers that go, oh, there's no aliens here in the South Pole. And they're like throwing up water in the air so it freezes before it hits the ground. It's like, well, it's just really cold out here. It's like the government is shady as fuck. We know about MK Ultra. We know about the Tuskegee experiments. We know about all more horrific shit than that.
Yeah.
Forever. Yeah. But I was thinking today, my buddy goes hunting a lot. We've been talking these past few days, and I said he shows me a lot of trail cam footage.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah.
I go, if Bigfoot was a thing, right?
Yeah, just you guys would have already a trail cam, right?
The millions of trail cams there are probably out in the woods somewhere, bro.
Millions, potentially.
Millions. We have millions of eyes, right? Maybe these things, they're able to sense it before they go into the camera, or maybe, the night vision, the infrared light that the camera gives at night might not be able to pick it up because it's on another wavelength, but it's still there. We can't see black light, we can't see ultraviolet, we can't, like, our eyes interpret it differently than what it actually is.
Yeah, for sure. Like like military guys use IR shit.
Exactly.
It's weird to think about, dude. It's weird because I've seen all this stuff on Google Earth, and they like the satellites when they take the photos. A lot of times, like the photos will be like separated, on planes because
like they're blocking something out.
No, like they shoot a plane, and like the red and the yellow and the green sensor.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
So it's kind of like spread out.
Oh, it's just a glitch, bro. It's nothing.
Could be a glitch. I mean, dude, here's the other thing. I don't know fucking anything about computers, dude. I could barely turn one on. I mean, dude, in order for me to have babies and have more babies to have babies, and then eventually we grow up and we make computers, that would never happen in my lineage. We're not smart enough. We'd be chilling under palm trees. We wouldn't be trying to invent computers. You know what I'm saying? So I almost think that, like, at some point, like, some really, like, amongst us are like Jackie Joyner Kersey's, like fast motherfuckers, like in the brain, right? There's some geniuses amongst us. But then, like, how the fuck did we just invent all this shit? Like, me and you love Nicolas Cage movies because we're morons, right?
He's talking about yourself, bro. Nicolas Cage is amazing.
Bro, he is the most amazing. But like, that's the shit where I'm like, I want to do that kind of shit. Like, I want to enjoy, you know what I mean? Just like silliness and like cool shit and like whatever, like all all the flowery parts of life. I like that. I'm not gonna sit here and probably be like inventing computer shit.
So
like, it's so fucking beyond me. And then we live in this bizarre like time and place now where it's like these are the substrates and they can be affected by powers that be, like Google. Google could go back and retroactively change information in computers, and now you and I are like, yo, there's a fucking Frozen 12? Like, damn, like I didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, there's so much shit with this conspiracy shit. And it's funny because to me it all lands on the same substrate, which is computers.
well,
Right?
so you do. So I did that episode on the occult origins of the internet because
Trying to talk to the devil or whatever.
so that's the guy that invented computers.
Right? Yeah.
So the guy who invented binary code, the idea behind binary code, was also trying to do that. He talked about the law of attraction and how our thoughts they affect reality. Right.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. I mean,
This guy. So, but check this out. So Isaac Newton, his name is Gottfried Leibniz. He's a German guy. You have all these guys that are accredited to the arts. The founding fathers, all these guys, bro. They all, at the end of the day, they were all Rosicrucians. They were all part of secret societies, Freemasons, if you will.
Yep.
And the entire idea is that this country was founded on was occult symbolism. And
100%.
even Francis Bacon, which supposedly some people say he was William Shakespeare, and we all know how influential William Shakespeare was, right, to the English language. He was also an occultist, right? They were all part of secret societies, and their whole thing was even Francis Bacon talked about just how Plato talked about living in this dystopia. Francis Bacon wrote a book that he never finished. It's called The New Atlantis. And it was like this utopian view where it was ruled by, again, this higher class, these mystics, the Rosicrucians.
Oh man, it's so fucking crazy you're talking about this.
Bro, the thing that they believe is they believe that when you look within yourself, so if you try and criticize others, and I'm trying to word this because I literally just finished a lecture on this. It was like you can criticize others, but you can't criticize yourself type of thing, where like through mysticism, you're able to achieve divinity. And it's like this, it's not a humanism movement, because humanism is pretty much like we are the gods, right? Like pro-humanism, like you're pro-human. We can do everything that we want. This is what the Gnostics preached about. But I feel that eventually in history, things get perverted, things get inverted through the powers that be. And we see this shit through all of history where the church came in, bro, and they just butt fucked everybody and they took over, bro. They took over, and those ideals, again, bro, the ideas that these guys are trying to portray are hidden within, again, symbolisms that we see. And for example, let me use an example. I've talked about it before on the show, but I want to get into it. One of the best examples that I can use. So King James, right? He broke away from Scotland and became King James the First of England, right? And the reason that he did that was because the Pope wouldn't approve his divorce, and he wanted to fuck somebody else. So he just said, "Fuck it, we break away from the crown, we make our own thing." Like what? Like the United States, we break away from the crown. 1776, we do our own thing, right? So this guy, dude, supposedly he liked to fuck dudes. Nothing against people who like to fuck dudes, but this is the guy who's accredited to one of the most widely used versions of the Bible. He was the first one to translate the Bible into English. And the reason that he did this is since he had a bunch of people, they needed a version of the Bible. So he had it translated. Some say that
he had a captive audience.
Yeah. So he according to, theories, which again, this is conspiracy. Some say that Francis Bacon, a Rosicrucian, an occultist, a guy who was a sodomite as well, like to take it in the butt, he was the one that was supposedly the one that edited the final version of the Bible. And there are supposed symbols in the Bible that are linked to the Rosicrucians and all these occult things. And we can see that shit, right? We have like the Old Testament, which is a whole different fucking thing. And then the New Testament, which is like this whole different thing.
That's crazy.
And none of it makes sense. So this guy, King James, bro, and this is history. This is not conspiracy, what I'm about to say. He wrote a book called Daemonology. And in the book, the one that's, and it's 3 books, the thing that stood out to me the most, bro, out of the whole thing, and it's fucking crazy. He was like pretty much like a witch sympathizer, because he was part of these witch trials, and they were trying to, he wanted to explain to people like the importance of demons. And in the 3rd book, bro, to wrap it up, to summarize his whole entire thing, which is wild, he said that the use of demons further glorifies God. Bro. Bruh. How the fuck? That's the dude who approved the English version of the Bible, was talking about how you need to use demons for the further glorification of God.
I mean, what's the equivalent of nowadays?
What do you mean?
If Trump was like, listen, I'm a wizard. What you need to do, and laid it out, dude. He's like, listen, everybody needs a cauldron, some puppy dog's tails, I newt. You know what I mean? You make a slurry, drink that, stab a firstborn.
Did you know 300 years ago the royalty ate human flesh? It was a delicacy for them.
I'm saying, dude, it's so slippery being a human being. Like 100 years ago, there's no one watching over you. It's like, I don't know, let's eat Tom's leg, dude. Fuck Tom, dude. He looks juicy, you know?
Yeah. But
I don't know what kind of shit, like natural conclusions. Like, you know how different cultures are like so massively different? Like those African guys that are crazy tall and like run from village to village. You got like pygmies, you got everything between, right? So it's like the conclusions that you'd come to in Japan versus like Canada are like going to be pretty different, you know? Some people are going to be like, yeah, fuck it, we eat motherfuckers, you know? Other people are going to be like, I don't know, you know? Fill in the blank, dude. And I think that, like, you know, if you look back through time and space, there's been a lot of people that like howl at the moon, occultists, you know, like fuck.
Oh, by the way, in his books, he also talks about werewolves and vampires. So.
I'm saying, dude, it's like, dude, do you think that there was never giants or Loch Ness monsters? I mean, there might have been. I don't know. I mean, I think, dude, you know, some of that shit is weird because we don't know, kind of like Mandela Effect again. It's like at some point it's like true, and it's maybe you know probably.
No. So here's my thing with
your mind making it up. You know, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, confirmation bias, where you can you want to believe something so bad it becomes real, like a Stockholm syndrome type of thing. But
yeah.
The thing with me with the Mandela Effect is. And in the movie The Matrix, when he has deja vu, where deja vu, they say it's an echo in space and time where you see something that you think you've seen before. In the movie The Matrix, when he's going up the stairs and he sees the cat, and he goes, wait, deja vu, that means they've changed something in the system. The whole thing with Mandela Effect, I feel, why is it irrelevant shit? And there's 2 sides of it. There's 2. Let me get to it. The first side is, okay, let's do the subtle shit so they don't realize that we've changed the simulation. And then the other side of me goes, it's just bullshit because dude, I would tell you Mandela Effect is real if I woke up tomorrow and Trump was president and we remember that fucking Biden was the president
yesterday, like when I went to bed. Exactly. Okay, so. All right, I totally hear you, and I totally agree with you. Why is it always like Frosted Flakes is spelled differently or something? Right? Now, this one fucked me up, dude, because I'll entertain this shit. I don't really necessarily believe any of it. You know, I kind of like just like have my toe in there on all of it. It's really interesting. I don't know. Fuck, man. And Black Tom explosion. Have you heard of that?
No, let me look it up though. Jamie, pull that up real quick. Black Tom explosion. 1916?
Just, yeah, dude.
Oh no, this is war. It says World War One. The Black Tom explosion was an act of sabotage by agents of the German Empire to destroy U.S.-made munitions that were to be supplied to the Allies in World War One. So 1916, yeah.
So it blew up in like near like Staten Island, and it blew all the glass out of all the buildings in Manhattan.
Wow, really?
I never heard.
Wow, also damaged the Statue of Liberty. What the fuck?
I never heard about this shit until 2 days ago.
It was one of the largest artificial non-nuclear explosions. So what are you trying to get at, bro? Are you trying to get that maybe that
I never heard this shit. This got us into the war?
World War One.
Now, you want to know another crazy one? Google oh shit. I forgot the name of it. There are these boats. Okay, this is what it's called. I just remember. Dazzle Camo. Look up Dazzle Camo boats. Tell me if you've ever seen this shit before, because apparently,
what the fuck?
This is what they were using in World War II. Yeah, bitch. Like, what the fucking bro? What the fuck are you talking about?
Whoa, dude.
What the fuck are you talking about? This is the kind of shit where I go, that wasn't around yesterday.
Razzle dazzle camouflage.
So those boats look like they're disco fucking boats, and they're
wow.
I mean, I heard about this maybe like 6-8 months ago.
So what's the point behind this? What let's look this up. Dazzle camouflage. Dazzle camouflage, also known as razzle dazzle or dazzling painting, was a family of ship camouflage used extensively in World War I and lesser extent in World War II. But why does it? What does it do? Let's see here the effects. Oh, made it harder to hit ships.
Yeah. So get this. Now Google D-Day and tell me if you see something strange, because there's razzle camo boats at D-Day, and now there's also blimps in the sky at D-Day. And I don't know if that was there before, but I don't remember it as a kid when I watched
D-Day was World War II.
Yeah.
So they said that they used it less in World War II. So
but it's still at D-Day. There's boats with razzle dazzle bullshit on them, and
there is.
My point being is, look in the sky. There's all these blimps now in the sky at D-Day, and I had never personally seen that before. So now, I mean, you'll see it in all the photos. Also, was there a Hilton hotel underneath the Twin Towers? Because now apparently in all the photos there's a Hilton hotel right underneath the right underneath the Twin Towers. Like people are like, yo, I never seen that before.
Before or after?
During, current, at like, Google this shit.
What'd you say? What was it? A Hyatt?
I think it's a Hyatt or a Hilton. Hilton, I think. It's weird, man. So some of this stuff, again, it's like, I don't know. I'm probably misremembering, to be 110, but also at the same time, fuck, it's bizarre. Sometimes this shit is bizarre. You know, like the end of that Queen song where they don't say "of the world" anymore. Like, what?
See, but like I told you, what the fuck is the point of doing that? Like the Bernstein Bears or the Berenstein Bears, you know? Like, to
me, it doesn't matter those little ridiculous idiosyncrasies. What really matters is that there's so many. Like with aliens, like, bro, like, I don't really know if they're around or not, but so many people have said something. Now even the government is saying, so you'd have to think there'd be something to it. So all these examples leads me to say, I don't know necessarily one or the other, but so many examples, people going, no. It was like this before. I remember.
Was it like the Fruit of the Loom cornucopia, and now there's not a cornucopia?
Gone now. The cornucopia is gone now.
I don't know, dude. I never, like I said, I'll start believing the Mandela Effect when something big happens. Like I go, okay, now we're in this is a different reality, right? This is different.
That Black Tom shit got me. I was like, yo, what? There's a huge ass explosion. These boats look like disco ass boats in the ocean. Bro, that's weird to me as fuck.
But now, wait, how does the Tom thing relate to the Mandela Effect?
Because people just don't remember it happening ever before.
I mean, do you know somebody from 1916, bro?
Man, I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
And think about this, dude. The early 1900s to the late 1800s was such a fucking weird period in time, especially with the whole Tartaria movement and all this shit. I 100% believe in all of these fucking fires, bro. For example, all these buildings that were demolished, and there was one that I was seeing the other day where it was this beautiful architecture in the early 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. They were check this out. They were supposed to refurbish the building. It was a Tartarian-esque type of building, right? With the weird architecture, like the Gothic architecture, all this stuff, like weird antiquitech on top of the buildings. They were supposed to refurbish it, and according to some miscommunications, they demolished it instead.
Swag. And people think that's what the wars were.
That's a big oops, bro.
A lot of people think that that's what the world wars for too, you know, just to get rid of this shit. Because, you know, if you look at the Tartaria thing is really interesting, dude, because if you look at those World's Fairs and stuff, you're telling me these people built all that shit for 4 days. Like, that doesn't seem...
No pictures of them building it, only pictures of them, like, midway.
Weird. And then, I don't know if you're looking at star forts.
Yeah.
Weird. Super duper weird. You know, and then this dude, Paul Cook, have you seen him? His shit on YouTube?
I think so, yeah. Paul Cook, I think I've seen some of his videos on there. Super
interesting shit, because he's finding super megalithic, like, uber old blockwork all around England. And it's... you know, dude, who fucking knows, man? It just seems to me like we continually build upon the shoulders of the giants that have come before us, kind of thing. We're continually like, fucking basilica gets knocked down, building up a new basilica. You know what I mean? It's like, king is dead, long live the king, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that we're constantly finding and using these holy places, you know, and as things come and go. And
gotta do with the ley lines too, bro.
That's 100%, you know, dragon lines, ley lines, all this shit. It's like tied in. Basically, there's parts of this, to me, parts of this, excuse me, world that there's, you know, esoteric shit about it. Power in geometry, in ratios. There's power in, you know, vibration. You know, if you ever look into 7 Hermetic principles, super interesting
Hermes
shit.
Tristis Megistus, yeah.
Yeah, man, because it's like, dude, you know, intention and, you know, so I don't know. It becomes like the world of, to me, of, there's just a lot of esoteric shit all around us. And so I'm kind of like, I just try to stay open to all of it because it's really interesting shit. You know, that's why I can't necessarily throw babies out with bathwater. Like, I don't know if Mandela Effect is true, but I know it's like super weird and interesting.
Yeah. And I've been studying Pythagoras, right? Because the Pythagoreans, they believe that numbers were this enigmatic thing that you could use to find wisdom. And I always go back to all these ancient civilizations and what I meant to say earlier that I didn't say. All these civilizations, all these people that were trying to find the one, right? The source.
You're trying to find God through all these means.
Through all these means, right? Almost like this that's what, like the Tower of Babel, right? Where they were building the tower, and it's like,
I mean, they're literally though means to an end. The means, the different approaches to the end, which is fucking God, man. Source, right? Like
so somebody recently asked me if I believed in God. And anyways, what I meant to say before this, before I get into this, all these philosophers that were attributed to all these the great discoveries, Isaac Newton, all these guys, right? They were all part of secret societies, and they were all trying to find that Godhead. It's always like trying to step it up. And the way that they were able to get that knowledge was through occult means. So they were all part of these secret societies because they believed that in order to receive this knowledge, they needed to go through initiations to be able to receive the knowledge.
Yeah.
Like Pythagoras made people shut the fuck up for 5 years. And once you shut the fuck up for 5 years, you also had to study math. You had to understand math, like at a level that was crazy. And then after that, after 5 years of shutting your fucking mouth, you could then be initiated. There was 3 initiations that he would put you through, right? Before you could learn from him, because they believed that this knowledge was sacred. And Pythagoras, bro, talked about not sacrificing people, not killing people. He said, nourish a cock, but sacrifice it not, right? And a cock is...
Oh, what?
Yeah, no. A cock is a fucking rooster,
no, say that. Yo, say that again.
Nourish a cock, but kill it not.
Amen,
Let me look it up exactly what it says. Let me fucking pull out my handy dandy notebook here. I have this bookmarked. Hold on, bro. It's the tenets of Pythagoras. Hold on. Let me look this shit up, bro. This is
Hold on, because when you say it, I'm gonna get video. You're so sick, man.
So here we go. We're pulling up to it now. So the symbolic aphorisms of Pythagoras, and one of the top 10 ones, number 7, nourish a cock but sacrifice it not.
Swag.
For it is sacred to the sun and the moon. So the first is, there's 2 warnings. The first is warning against the sacrifice of living things to the gods, because life is sacred and man should not destroy even as an offering to the deity. The second warn man's that the human body here referred to as the cock is sacred to the sun god and the moon nature, and should be guarded and preserved as a man's most precious medium of expression. Pythagoras also warned his disciples against suicide.
Yeah, because that's crazy, because the Catholics say that too. Go to hell, straight to hell if you commit suicide. So,
mind you, all the ideas. So Pythagoras inspired Socrates, which inspired Plato, which inspired all these other guys, and it's a tumbling effect, but it's a game of telephone, right? You see that fucking Pythagoras is saying don't kill people or don't kill yourself, but then somewhere along the line, the Aztecs would fucking sacrifice the shit out of people. Some would, what are the samurais were doing? Seppuku, where they would fucking kill themselves. Like, where did we lose translation and started sacrificing kids to Moloch and doing all the fucked up shit that we do?
I think those are kind of like, maybe like, I think those are maybe like different examples, because the Harry Carey thing where you kill yourself.
Was that too broad for? Was that too broad for you, bro? Like,
yeah. I think that was a little too broad of a spectrum, dude.
But come on, bro.
I feel you at some level, but Harry Carey was like, if you're you disrespected the fam and you didn't want to, like, or if like bad guys were right around the corner, you're like, fuck these bitches, not give them the decency, you off yourself, what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know, dude. The whole like cremation of care, Moloch, that's Babylonian, and like
it goes back to the ancient schools of Mesopotamia, bro. It goes back. It goes further back. The ancient mystery schools of Egypt. All these fucking guys, bro, that were inspired by them. I think
what's a trip about it though, dude, is like these were people that for a lot of those times couldn't read, and if you could read, there was different like books and schools, and so you had like you had your Kabbalists who were like the Jewish mystics, and then you had their different for different areas, right? Boom. So you got that, and then but we have the internet, and it's like, I don't think some of these concepts are maybe too far to grasp for some people or whatever, but in order to get access in previous times, you had to be born of a special house or something.
So are you trying to get at that? Like I've said before, Moses was the first one to tap into the original cloud, the OG cloud.
Dude, Moses had horns apparently?
Apparently, yes. And he also, what people fail to accept is that he fucking turns snakes into sticks or sticks into snakes, bro. That's fucking black magic, bro.
Oh yeah, that's the guy from Conan the Barbarian. You remember that? He makes the bow and arrow out of the snake, dude.
Dude, so check this out, man. I feel that language has been demystified from I believe in magic, bro. I believe in magic, whether that's the fucking Harry Potter shit or not. I believe that there is some, like how you said, how were back then. So you're saying that back then their internet was fucking with Baphomet, Abraxas, Tetragrammaton, like all these fucking like higher beings, Yahweh or whoever it is. That was their internet. They were able to tap into that to download the information that they needed.
All right. So basically, like, all this stuff is super interesting, right? Boom, occultism, yada yada yada, all like literally outside of the outside.
Exoteric.
Exoteric, esotericism. You know what I mean? Like whatever. So basically, what's the root of it? Like if you tap into the actual seed and get the genetic material out of there and like start deconstruct, do you think if I smoke crack and do 17 and a half push-ups and like punch my mom in the face, I can talk to demons? Like, I don't know the recipe, You know, but if I do a very specific thing, light my hand on fire, you know what I mean? Then I get to talk to the art Michael, and he's like, dog, check it out. Buy Google next week. It's, you know what I mean? Like, what happens? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hear all these occultists and they talk about it. Do they have cauldrons? Do they have like black scrying mirrors? Are they really talking to things in the next dimension? And are those things really telling them like stock tips or like you got to murder this person? Or
you're curious.
That's where it stops for me. Like, I can't like get beyond that veil of like, well, what happens?
So remember, you bring up a good point, right? Like, do heroin, then do 17 and a half push-ups, right? And then fucking put your popcorn in the microwave at 2 minutes exactly, right? So
40 paces to the north, howl at the moon. You know what I mean? Like, it's so, magic is so specific. These rituals are so specific.
Well, look at Aleister Crowley, bro.
What I want to know though is, are you able to do, after doing these extremely specific things, you know what I mean, eat 4 worms and, you know, half a corn cob and like whatever the fuck, you know what I mean, what happens? Does a fucking demon pop up on the couch next to me? He's like, what's up, man, here's some beers.
So remember,
you know what I mean, like, what happens?
I come back to language. We are animals that can only interpret things and communicate things based on the language that is accessible to us. And by us, I mean the humans. So we're only able to say so much, right? We're only able to say so much at a time, especially. Because think about it, dude. Think about it. In your head, if you close your eyes, you can fucking see you can paint this entire picture, this entire world, this entire universe, right? Like George Lucas. He made this entire canon, this entire universe.
Harry Potter, whatever.
Game of Thrones, right? All these crazy stories, they're in people's fucking heads first.
Yeah, and now they're real.
And now they're sort of real, like in a hyper reality, because it's all special effects and all this shit.
Yeah, I know, but still, the people, like, they focus on them so much that they, like, become entrenched in these characters and these cultures that aren't imagined.
Fuck, bro.
It's great. I always think of these people that go to like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I'm Wolverine. You're like, no, you're fucking idiot. But like, you know, like I can see like there's this whole like world that you're a part of, and then you're like really like creeping around your closet or whatever.
So back to your demon talk, right? And did you know? I'm gonna say some shit right now, bro. You can look it up.
Blow my fucking mind, dude.
I'm gonna say some shit. Let me get his name right. So check this out, bro. Apparently, Mephistopheles is
that was a sick ska band when I was a kid, by the way.
That was a band name?
Mephistopheles. It was a sick ska band back in the day. I used to love ska.
So this guy is a demon-like figure of German folklore, right? And there's a Dr. Falk Goethe refers to it as part of the power that still works for good while ever scheming for ill. And if you look at Yoda, and you look at a picture that Eliphas Levi, which is accredited to Baphomet, the famous painting of Baphomet, where he's like, you know, like doing the whole shit. He was the one that was accredited to this painting, Eliphas Levi, which is a French occultist. And he did a painting on the summoning of Mephistopheles, and it just so eerily depicts Yoda.
Sick.
And what is Yoda? Yoda is this grotesque little guy, right, that can barely walk, but he holds the knowledge to the entire universe, right? He's like the most wisest entity or guy or whatever he is, alien, right? Because we don't know what he is. We just assume he's an alien, but he's in a universe and in a canon that's like, it's all aliens, right? It's like the space and the Jedis fighting with their fucking lightsabers and all this stuff. And the reason that he's in these movies is because, again, they say George Lucas was a Freemason. And they put these symbols in these movies to what? For this neurolinguistic programming that they do. And so Mephistopheles is this demon that is good, right? Like Yoda, he's good, trying to give you the knowledge, but always scheming for evil. So it goes back to King James.
Wait, Yoda's evil?
No. So the demon it's good, it's it portrays goodness, right? Like Yoda's good, but supposedly it's always scheming for evil. So it's always in the back, right? It's always looking to, instead, he's good. How we see the checkerboard, right? The Freemasons, the checkerboard, the good and the evil, the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
He's always there, like looking, right? Like this to the Pythagoreans was the duad, the two separate things, right? Because anything that is divine can't be divided into two. So 2 to them was like a bad number. Like, oh no, the duality in things, right? The two.
Right. And that's why they did depict the monad as having both sexes and all these things, because
like a divine, like a masculine and feminine. Yeah, exactly.
When you're dealing with the two, have you looked into any of this Janus stuff? Janus, Janus. Oh, dude, it's a whole fucking rabbit hole. Oh, sorry.
Janus, ancient Roman religion and myth. Janus, the god of beginning, gates of transitions. Yeah. I can get behind that. 2 faces. Okay. Yeah. Again, and this is like the Greco-Roman shit, which they go even further back, right? The Hellenistic arts and all this shit, they go way, way, way further back.
And it's symbolism. You show your tribe through symbolism.
So Carl Jung talked about, if you're able, and I'm paraphrasing, if you're able to bring the subconscious into conscious, you will, right? You'll keep calling it fate and let it rule your life.
Oh yeah.
He also talks about how the dark self, right? We have this dark. So it's like the 3-man argument. Have you heard of that?
No.
So the 3-man argument is like how I see myself, 1, how you see me, 2, and how I truly am, like 3, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it gets deeper, pretty much saying that man takes on the role of man because he accepts it, right? So it's this weird thing, right? Which I can get further into detail with the Pythagoreans. So, because the Pythagoreans thought that when we reincarnate, right, we become animals. So that's why he says nourish a cock, right, but don't sacrifice it, because animals could be one of your best friends that used to live, right? And when there's not like a credit score like karma, right? If you do good, you become something good, or if you do evil, it's everybody becomes into an animal. So when you're gone, Chris, you're going to become a fucking grasshopper in your next life when you come back. And that's why they said, don't kill animals. Don't fucking... And this was also a guy who said, don't eat beans because they resemble human fetuses, right? So what do you want to believe?
That's crazy. Yeah, because you know what's so crazy too is about food resembling things. It does. It resembles like structures and they say like eat the foods that are like shaped and like look like parts of the body that, so I'm out here eating eggplant, son, you know what I mean? I don't know.
What the fuck,
bruh? But listen though, I'm only eating
big black dick, bro.
But people do like, the thing about that, like I'm a designer, you know what I mean, by like trade or whatever, and so like I just like design. I like it because you can make things better by designing things well. So, and if you look at things like cars, trains, these things are like the metal interpretation of like animals. You know what I mean? Like of a horse or a donkey.
Yeah.
Goods from A to B. But how do we do that? We got to replace the wheels with legs and yada. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the stomach is a. Is
that why cars look like people, bro? Like animals,
That's why they have horsepower, because they're actual physical representations of horses. Bruh. You know what I mean?
Dude, so check this out, bro. This is.
Sound effect is so sick, dude.
They have to. God damn, bro. We got to stop getting stoned on these fucking podcasts. So the whole thing with Plato, that he thought that the theory of forms, right? That this world is populated with the perfect form. So the horse, there's a bunch of imperfect horses.
Oh, yeah. You were saying this last time.
But
there's the perfect horse in your mind or whatever.
Exactly, bro. Yeah. Exactly. Right? When they make like a little action figure of a horse, it's a perfect horse, dog.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's perfect. You know what I mean? So, and thoughts, he pretty much believed that thoughts were on another dimension, that they were like being broadcasted, because it's the weirdest shit. And
because it comes through like wind.
Something, bro. Something.
Thoughts are so bizarre, bro. I just said I do like design work. I do logos and shit sometimes, from time to time. And I've literally had names and logos come in my head, and I did like doodles, like, oh, that'd be crazy. And then like 6 months, a year later, that company will come out. Somebody else had did it, and that's happened. That's happened multiple.
No fucking way, dog.
It's so weird to me, yeah, and it's just like, am I tripping? Did I see this beforehand, or like, is this just like a natural conclusion? Because that's a cool word. So like, why wouldn't you name a brand like, you know what I mean, or whatever?
Oh, bro, Abraxas. That's the sickest fucking name.
The chicken, snake-headed.
Yeah, that's like the god of the gods. They say that, like the Torah says that that's why I'm telling you, in Kabbalah they talk about this sacredness of language, where the universe was spoken into existence. Right?
Yeah, spelling, the whole idea of spelling is that there's these videos, man, where these people break down the etymology of all these words.
Oh, yeah.
The shit that we actually say that we're not, because we use language the wrong way, because at some point people got in there and added some fuckery or whatever, or potentially took out some vowels and shit, like who knows what. And then there's some people that like can map that shit on the flower of life. It's like, dude, I don't fucking know, dude, you know what I mean? But it's fucking mad interesting, It's like, if you read any of these fucking occult books, you will find out quickly that these people have thought about shit for a long time, a lot longer than you have. I mean, multiple generations of like code breaking and shit. It's insanity.
So Manly P. Hall has this lecture on the Freemasons, right? The secrets of the Freemasons. And when he starts it out, he says that we are being ruled by individuals who are not of this like realm, and not in an alien type of way, bro. He says it almost like and Manly P. Hall, okay, whatever. He can be put into the category of Helena Blavatsky, Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons, all these occultist motherfuckers, Hermes Trismegistus, all these crazy enigmatic people, right? No, because, and the reason I say this is because, for example, Aleister Crowley, he channeled a lot of his books.
Yeah, that's what they say, right?
Right. When Manly P. Hall is giving a lecture, I think he's channeling that, bro, because
he does. He goes into this like void, right?
He sits on his throne.
Yeah.
And he'll talk for 2 hours nonstop, no notes.
Right.
Pronouncing everything fucking perfectly.
Yeah, right.
And then towards the end, he like snaps out of it and is like, hey, next week we're going to be talking about so-and-so.
Right.
Bro, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And he knows so much. Bro, I have 8 or 9 gigs of Manly P. Hall's work. All his manuscripts, the tarot cards he had made, or inspired by him, whatever. All his lectures, all his cassettes, everything. And I'll probably die before I can listen to all of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because they're bananas, bro.
And they're fucking crazy, bro. So,
have you ever Constantine?
What, the Roman Emperor?
No, I get probably, but also that stupid movie with John Wick. What's his face?
Oh, bro, take that back. Keanu Reeves, bro. Come on, now don't call him stupid.
No, that's my man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but I know that movie, Constantine.
But he shows demonic possession.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm saying, does that go back to the thing we was talking about earlier, which says 17 chicken eggs, I punch your grandmother, I do 8 push-ups, I go for a walk in the swamp, and then bada bing, bada boom.
So your whole thing is if it's an actual physical being, right? So if aliens are actually interdimensional, or if they're
or demons or angels or whatever, just shit that ain't here, basically.
I think it's I think it's a mixture of two things, bro. I think it's something it's mental, right? And I also feel that maybe they are real things, but just not in the spectrum of light that we can see.
That's what I'm saying. So,
and I think those rituals that you're talking about, like 17 chicken eggs, whatever. I think that's just lost in translation.
Okay.
And for example, like the workings of Abramelin, that supposedly it's like this 2-year ritual that supposedly Aleister Crowley was doing. And he had to buy a house on Loch Ness, right? Facing a certain way where the sun had to shine in the window at a certain time of the year, at a certain time. I think that he supposedly he never finished that ritual.
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
And I think this is why we have the Loch Ness monster, bro.
Yeah, that's what people say. And then like Jimmy Page owns it now or something, like something weird shit.
Well,
yeah.
did you see that Michael Bloomberg owns like this? I think it's a temple to Mithras, in somewhere in some fucking crazy place, and he's like made it like the most high tech building. But it goes back to these elites building on these sacred grounds, these ley lines where the fabric of reality, like Skinwalker Ranch, the fabric of reality is thinner in these areas, and they're able, instead of doing all the chicken eggs, they're able to tap in there faster because it's Ethernet, it's hardwired.
This is the idea of Halloween. It's the Samhain, right? It's like this time of year where like reality,
Sabbath or some shit.
Yeah, well, they say it's like the thinnest between dimensions at that time. That's the ghouls and the goblins and the references,
But why do they have to be ugly though, bro? Is my whole thing.
I don't know. Maybe they got hate in their heart. You got hate in your heart, let it out. I mean, I don't know, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's like weird, dude. It's like, but to take it full circle though, with what you were saying earlier, is these occultists, and I think we could probably put ourselves in this category too. But at the end of the day, they want this like eon flux, like totalitarian way of life, super classist way of life. They want to be like this upper echelon, like weirdo. And this is what it seems like to me from the outside looking
100%.
in. And then they want everybody else to be kind of like just slave class, like fucking whatever. And that's like, I think the idea of like they, to extrapolate all the way, I think that's like the idea of that, these groups want, really, which is scary as fuck, dude.
Yeah, and I can get behind that 100%. So, did you know that it's a Rosicrucian idea that all man has a universal right to healthcare?
I mean, dude, what? Duh. What?
Yeah, but you see where it gets lost in translation, because the pharma industry in this country and capitalism does lead to greed, is the most horrendous. Bro, my dad has MS, okay? His treatment, it's not a prescription. His treatment is $40,000 a month.
It's like, what?
Per month, bro. So multiply, that's him for the rest of his life. Multiply him times 500,000 people.
That's that Martin Skrilla shit, dude. Fuck that guy, dude. You know what
I mean?
Yeah,
the guy that, yeah. I know who you're talking about. The Wu-Tang motherfucker. Yeah.
And like, listen, man, how much that pill costs? You know that rappers say no cap?
Yeah.
Fuck you. There should be a cap on that shit, dog. That's an $8 pill. Go fuck yourself.
So part of me wants to believe that these individuals, they also create these diseases, right? Through what they feed us, through right now, all the waves in here coming from these screens, coming from my Wi-Fi router, coming from my phone. This shit can't be good for you, bro. Like, right. This cannot be good for you, because back then, the when it's hunter gatherers, they weren't experiencing any of this shit. So maybe their consciousness was a bit high. Maybe that's why there's so many paintings of gods, because they were able to tap in there because they didn't fucking have Wi-Fi. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think you're super close to the truth.
You know what I mean, though, dude? Like, it's fucking crazy to me, dog.
No, I look at any of these practices, these people like on the trying to come closer to God, they're always like, fasting is always involved. There's always like, go to by yourself into the mountains for fucking months and just meditate. There's always these like taking yourself out of the equation, just like looking inward shit, and yeah, because there's something to it, dude. I think, dude, I went camping this summer and I had the most psychedelic dreams, like super weird. Like,
I had a really bad nightmare last night, dude. It was probably one of the most horrific nightmares I've ever had.
Hey, what do you do in that situation?
What?
In a nightmare.
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? Because I had them as a kid, knock on wood, and then I had one a few years ago, and I haven't had any since. And in it, something was freaking me out, and I ran straight at it. It fucking exploded, and I never had a nightmare since.
I have a lot of, not recently, but I've had a lot of sleep paralysis. Have you ever had that?
Oh, it's fucking bizarre. No, I've never had it. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've had that a lot, and I haven't had an episode recently. The last one that I had was when I went to Coral Castle in Miami, and I saw an alien in the room, bro. And I flipped the fuck out. And
Hey, wait. No, stop. You ain't going no further. Nah, you need to talk about that now. What the fuck? You probably talked about this on your show before.
No, I think I mentioned it, but I didn't talk about it.
Bitch, you better tell me about that. What?
So the whole thing with, have you ever heard of Coral Castle?
We're past that.
So, but it's got to do with the story, bro.
It's wild. It's all these blocks. It was an old guy tripod with a black box at the top. Nobody could figure out how he did it.
So but people talk about that aliens helped them. So I think my state of mind that weekend was
we're open,
right? And I'm just laying in bed. And mind you, I had just watched like a horror film too on Netflix, right? So I shut like my laptop and I went to sleep. And with sleep paralysis, you pretty much wake up, but you can't move your body. But I've had it so much, dude, that I'm able to break out of it like rather quickly. So I can get myself out. Like last night when I was having that nightmare, the entire time in the nightmare, I was conscious that I wanted to get back to like the reality, but I didn't know it was a nightmare. But I knew that it was so bad that I knew it couldn't be real life. You know what I mean? Like I knew what had happened to me in it was so wrong that I knew it couldn't be real. Yeah,
no, I've been there. It's so you're like, no, that's off.
Yeah, but again, I fought until I finally woke up. My fucking heart was fucking beating out of my chest. I was, sweaty and all this shit. And I was like, I had a fucking nightmare. Like I knew I did. So with sleep paralysis this night, when I saw the alien, and I can't say if it was a gray or what, but it was like the typical, little gray man. And I was sitting on the edge of I was laying down on the side, and I open my eyes. I can't fucking move, but right fucking there, right in front, bro, right here, like right fucking in front of me was a fucking alien looking directly at me. And I flipped the fuck out. And as soon as I flipped the fuck out, I was so scared, I snapped out of it. And it was gone.
Look out of here.
Bro, I fucking shit you not. Like, I promise you, bro. I promise you.
What did it look like?
Like a fucking alien, dog. It had a little oval, like a little round head. Fucking 2 eyes. I couldn't see the mouth, and it was looking straight at me. Fucking little skinny bitch.
Typical like gray.
Yeah, like this guy behind me over here, like that.
No shit.
Yeah, bro.
Shorty.
Yeah, it was a little guy. It was right by the bed, dude. It was
right by your face.
Yeah.
The fuck yeah, yo.
I swear, bro.
And so you're stuck. Shorty's there. He's looking at you.
He's looking at me, but bro, it was like instant. I fucking like open up and was, oh, what the fuck?
And gone. And gone.
It's like, have you ever seen Jupiter Ascending?
Yo, maybe that's why you get the sleep paralysis. It's mad aliens that come visit you.
Why don't all my microphones stop working at the same time? I don't know. I did a podcast episode yesterday.
Maybe that guy's real, bro. No, that's so crazy, man. It's like, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm always thinking like Men Who Stare at Goats. Like the guy kicks out the cord and all the computers go off or whatever, and he's like, I'm mystic, dude, But I don't know how much of it's real, like shit like that doesn't work for me a lot of time too. I'm just like thinking I'm like cursed, but I never seen no shit. I'm pretty sure we saw some lights that were doing some very strange things in the sky in Barcelona one night. That actually happened. But other than that, I can't really think of any time I've ever seen anything like no Bigfoot, no fucking no. I've heard some really weird noises in the woods before, for sure.
Yeah, dude,
like,
but
I don't know what an owl sounds like.
But like you said, dude, you're disconnecting yourself from the hustle and bustle, right? All this shit, and going into a different dimension, right? So maybe you're just out of whack, bro. You're not adjusted. You're not living off grid, so you're not adjusted to it, and things start to seem like cabin fever, right? Like, maybe.
Damn, you think if you just lived out in the woods like Avatar, you'd be like, because yo, I came across this YouTube the other day, and this is gonna come full circle. And the guy, he's just like walking around, just like talking like super quiet. He's got like long hippie hair. He's got all his camo on. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? I can't figure it out.
Have you ever heard of?
But dude, listen, he was hunting pixies and fairies. He's like, dude, he's sitting under a tree. He's like, I just saw one.
This guy was doing mushrooms, bro.
Dude, it was the best. So I'm saying, like, if you are living out, right? Okay, it's 100 years after COVID devastates the world. You're out in the woods. You're 6th generation Juan. You're out there. You know what I'm saying?
Does he have a podcast?
No podcast, but you're eating mushrooms. You know what I mean? You're cruising and you're one with nature. You know what I'm saying? Does nature open up? Are there fucking elves? Are they like, what's up, dude? We've been here the whole time. We were hiding because you guys were cunts. You know?
You guys were fucking cunts, so we just fucking hid.
You know, so they say like the dolphins are back in like the Venice Canal and shit. You know,
dolphins rape people, bro. So fuck dolphins.
They come back. They're like, thanks for chilling out, dog. Like, I don't know, dude.
So, fuck, bro. Hashtag pigeons work for the CIA.
Yeah, you said Cthulhu might get thawed out.
Yeah, you know? Bro. Yeah, like, the eternal slumber. He's just sleeping under some iceberg, just frozen in time, like doing some fucking Buddha Zen shit like this. And then as soon as it like starts defrosting his face, he's like, boom, I'm here, baby. You know, I'm ready to go.
Nah, son, I don't want that. Dude, that's like Godzilla.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? They come out with these movies, right? They come out with these movies with this sleeping giant, right? What's that other movie, Pacific Rim? They're coming from the bottom of the ocean, bro. Yeah. They're teleporting through a portal at the bottom of the fucking Mariana Trench. You know what I mean? They're fucking coming out, bro, and they're devastating everybody. We have to fight them in these big robots. What was Japan building, bro? A fucking Gundam, dog.
I think the Earth, right, might be as above, so below the Earth.
100%.
So the Earth, the Marianas Trenches are pussy, son. You know what I mean?
It's the asshole of the Earth.
No, what would be the asshole of the world, though? That's
fucking New York or fucking Portland, Oregon or some shit. Some fucking stupid place like California or some stupid place like that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
So check this out, bro. Have you ever heard of the stairs in the woods?
Nah.
Never heard of that?
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, like these stairs that people are encountering that are just in the middle of nowhere. Some look broke down, some look brand new, and they're just stairs in the woods.
Fuck are you talking about,
bro? Like, so check this out.
And they're just in the woods.
You're in the fucking middle of Seattle somewhere in some forest, and you come across a set of stairs.
Okay,
they just
like
go. Nothing. It's just in the middle of nowhere. And they're just some stairs that just go up.
What are they made out of?
Wood, cement, rocks, whatever.
And they just stop at like 10 foot high.
And they stop at 10 foot high. Do you go up those fucking stairs or what?
Hell yeah.
So there's this. I've been on Reddit for like 8 years.
Right? I don't know. Do you? You don't go up them?
No.
Okay, word.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because supposedly people who go up them, like, they go missing. That's got to do with the missing 411, right? Where people go missing.
Last night that said up in the Northwest up here, all these people be fine. They just find a
near cave systems, bro. All the like, if you break down all the cases along the East Coast and the West Coast, they're all along cave systems, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
So I've been on Reddit for like 8 years, and there was this story some years back, like 5 years ago, bro, on the No Sleep Reddit. And it's like they're supposed to be like spooky stories. So I'm a search and rescue officer, and these are the things I've seen. And
this is Nicolas Cage level,
bro.
Terrible.
So check this out. For the longest time, when I read those stories, and it's like 12 different stories, they seem so real to me that I believed them. For the longest time, I was like, holy shit, this is fucking wild. There was people who would go missing, like mentally handicapped people that would go missing, that there's no way that they would be able to survive in the woods. And they would be found, 2 weeks later with food in their stomach, all this stuff, like they're alive. A person that's like mentally handicapped who wouldn't be able to take care of himself, and he was something or someone or whatever fed them and took care of them the time that they were away. The little kids that go missing, that go, oh no, I saw so and so. They told me to go with them. Oh well, who called you? It was so and so, and like so and so doesn't exist, right? And they're brought into this cave, and they see lights and all. Bro, there's accounts of kids that talk about this shit. So when this author, right, when this author came out with these stories, people started popping up left and right. They're like, wait, I had some weird shit happen to me in the woods. I thought I was the only one. So, and then the author came out and said, hey, listen, this is fake. This isn't real. What are you guys saying? And they're like, no. We seen this shit. People talked about like seeing these stairs in the woods all over the place, bro. And again, if it's bots or like how we talked about the internet is dead, where 70% of the internet's fake and it's just AI. Was it bots commenting on there, right? Because he talks about Reddit in that fucking video.
Oh yeah,
or
right.
not.
Yep.
So
like confirmation through bots.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So people were coming out and talking about these stories, like, no, it really did happen to me. And me, bro, I was one that I believed the stories until the author came out and was like, hey, this is fake.
Bullshit. Yeah.
It's fake. What are you guys saying? And people were like, no, I've seen this shit. This is real. Da da da. So it's like, are there things where, right? Maybe this fucking stairs teleports into this dimension, a dimension that we can't see for a brief moment, and we're able to see it at that brief moment. It just gets frozen in time. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. I've seen this show, this stupid show, and there's like, I think my girlfriend was watching this stupid ass show. And the guy guy, I don't know who the fuck, but they touched basically Stonehenge and they like made him like go back in time.
Stonehenge is so stupid.
Kind of the same shit though. You walk up these stairs, you're
like Stargate shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying like that's like the concept, right? Like a wormhole place, like, but it's at the top of the steps.
Yeah, they say that when people would go up the steps, they would feel weird or they see things differently. Or some guys they said that they went up the steps and they went missing for like 2 days. Like,
man, that kind of stuff is like pretty like more normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think more people have had some kind of like, I can't quantify it experience.
A glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah, I think it happens to a lot of people, I just don't think like pre-internet, I think it's so hard to be like, this one thing that happened, you probably forgot about it by the time you're talking to Juan for the first time, and then he doesn't, because that same thing happened to me, it just trains in the night kind of thing. So now that I think we got this internet, we got this like playground where we all can occupy and trade those stories, and we start to see more of these patterns. It's interesting, dude. It's fucking weird. That's super weird. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen no damn staircase in the woods, but
yeah, bro. Look at us. I'll send you the stories so you can read them, but they're like super well written where I believed it. Like I fucking genuinely believed that was real, and it wasn't.
Who knows, dude? I mean, who the fuck knows? Did you see that volcano that erupted in wherever the fuck in those French islands?
Yeah, I saw that.
I think I tagged you on Insta about it or whatever, but those people are like digging out. Where I lived in the Caribbean, there was a similar thing happened on the island of Montserrat, where you dig out the building. No, there's no point. City's gone.
Why would you build buildings next to a fucking volcano? That was my whole thing.
Because it hasn't erupted for 1,000 years, so people don't know. They just grow up there and they live there.
How can you comprehend 1,000 years? Have I ever told you how many miles there are in a light year?
Oh shit, no, this is interesting.
7 trillion miles in 1 light year.
Trillion.
And they say, that planet is 100 light years away or 200 light years.
You think the richest people are like, yo, I got a motherfucking light year in the bank? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, dealing with light years over here, bitch. Oh, that's so crazy. It's an uncomprehendable amount of space.
Yeah, you can't comprehend it, bro.
He's literally like, oh, okay, 1 trillion miles. Sure.
So tell me how these people are able to fucking study these things.
Like space and time folding, right? To like travel that kind of. What the fuck do I know? Again, this is like me trying to like comprehend a computer. I'm a monkey, dude.
So we'll wrap it up on this, right? And I want to talk about, we've talked about computers and all this shit. If you truly knew how and what quantum computing consists of, that's fucking black magic, bro.
Quantum computing, like the
quantum computing and quantum physics. When you really look into it, bro, look like YouTube, quantum entanglement or quantum tunneling or quantum whatever, and you read it and you go, that's magic. Like the double, about the double slit experiment?
Yeah.
How atoms and the observer effect affect the way the atoms act when you're looking at them actively and not looking at them actively.
So it's interesting because you got the observer effect, and the observer effect is like, in that 7 Hermetic principles, they say all is mind. So that's you observing.
Exactly.
You're
And
watching.
And did you know that back then, vision to the ancients was an active thing? So, what I show you, laser beams, right? Like, it was an active thing, right? And then it turns out, no, it's just light reflecting back into our eyes. Like, it's not an active thing. It's already there, and the photons hit, going through your retina, and it gets processed by the brain and all this shit. But back then, before the theory of optics, you had vision was an active thing that you did. So, I don't know, bro.
Dude, have you ever been to you ever been to the world where the train center went down at in the subway there? I think they call it the Oculus, the new building that's there.
It's a cube.
No, it's a big eyeball basically, and the train station has all these.
Was it Mordor or some shit?
No, they have fucking eyeballs all over the train station. It's super weird, dude. When I was living in New York, I was like, oh, this is some like occult shit. Like this is really bizarre. They say it's some art installation or whatever, but
it's art. It's art. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, and I mean that's the part about it, dude. It's like if you've got the eyes to see and the ears to hear, it's just like everywhere I look, I see this shit. I'm like, this is a joke. It's fucking everywhere. That's because I think some of us are interested in the topic more than others, and so that's what's interesting about the observer effect is, if all is mind, it's like you and I are occupying this occult, realm in our minds, and we're going about our daily basis looking through this lens. A lot of people aren't, and it's not good or bad. It just is what it is. Like your mind just sees patterns, and your mind just sees these oddities, and calculates them in a different way. Other people, all they see is fucking waves, dude.
Because they're not on the same frequency.
All they want to see is waves all day. Cool too, Fuck, man. I've been that guy for many years. I could only think about snowboarding and clothing design, partying, traveling, chicks, and getting wasted for a solid 10 years. All I could think about from about 17 to about 27. That's it, right? And that's all I did. But then you pop out and you're like, what the fuck, man? There's all this other shit going on here.
Yeah.
So I think that there's like a lot of people that are just fish in water, they just don't know. They're just occupying this space. They don't know that they fucking pop up, look out, see all this shit,
Yeah. No, 100%, bro. I'm 100%. I see what you're saying. You got to be on that certain frequency to be open to things and have an open mind, but not so open that your brain falls out type of shit, Carl Sagan. But
I'm again a moron. I think you and I are like, it goes without being said, like we're fucking retards, like, and it's all good, it's just like different strokes, man, different people, but it's like at the end of the day, like you'd hope that, I think this is the reason why occultists and people like have kept this shit secret for so long is the masses don't understand it, and they will persecute you for talking about it because it's fucking magic and you gotta burn witches.
They killed them all the pagans and all the druids. Remember, they fucking the snakes in Ireland, and there's never even, or Scotland, whatever, and there's never even been any there, and they were talking about the druids, that they were practicing these rituals, and a lot of it was how you said, like weird shit, like 17 chicken eggs, one has to be brown or some shit. But
I mean the Burning Man, I mean all this stuff, it's like, and then you look at like CIA and MK Ultra, and you look at like the DOD having all these media stuff, and Maryland, like it goes on in every direction forever. We have been, human beings are just naturally, I think, like gravitate towards like weird shit and clicking up on some shit, and like, I want to watch you fuck this fucking chicken, so now I got dirt on you and we're in a club together forever, and it's like about that gang shit too, it's like we all have these aspects to us, that's why it's just super interesting for me too, because I think like as above so below, it's like, dude, I think that sometimes I'm pretty sure there's billionaires, and I know there's millionaires out there that we just get right along with, not a problem. It's just like this monetary thing. Yeah. It's this interesting thing because there's so much higher on this pegboard.
Well, that's the duad, bro.
But it's the same mind. It's same like, oh yeah, that's the guy. He's worth $8 million. Yeah, but that's my man.
Yeah, that's the duad. It promotes comparison, and comparison is illusionary. And
it's illusionary unless you can quantify it by going to your bank and getting out. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, bro. So, damn, bro, this fucking episode was crazy.
All over the place. That's pretty.
Yeah. So, one more time for the listeners at home, dude, where can they find your podcast? Any links where they can find merch and shit? Anything you want to plug?
Man. I gotta make some more, basically. But yeah, MENSA Podcast and Prosser Spice, and I'll send you all the links. Appreciate it.
Awesome, dude, and I appreciate you coming on, dude. It's always fucking wild when I have you on because I know you're into some deep shit too. You're always contemplating the realities of this universe and this reality, and you know what I mean. Not a lot of people can fucking hang, bro.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's always a pleasure. I love coming to chat with you, man, and we'll have you on the MENSA as per usual.
Sure, bro.
Follow up because I don't know what the fuck there is left to talk about, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.